Brilliant. There we go. Hi, ladies. Good evening. A little bit earlier, and it's a Tuesday. I can never get this Wednesday Facebook Live thing right. But I never even really know what the days of the week are, so not that it really matters anyway. So I'm really excited because I got the lovely Pat with me this evening to do an alcohol-free interview. I've been wanting to do this for ages. So something that we do from time to time is we get one of the ladies on talk about their alcohol-free journey, and they don't have to be abstinent. So it's good to get lots of different people in that have done it in lots of different ways. So good evening, Pat. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I'm okay. Yeah, getting there. So, how is it reducing, or are you alcohol-free? How would you describe your alcohol-free journey?
I've reduced and reduced and reduced, and at the moment I'm completely free, which is really nice.
Brilliant. And was that the plan to be alcohol-free?
I think so. Yes, I think that was always the end goal. End goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how long have you been reducing, do you think?
I think I joined the group in probably about August last year, and sort of started the journey then. Made lots of changes, and did my best to be alcohol free at that point. And it didn't always work. Had few sort of stumbles along the way, but for this period, it's been since Christmas. So I'm feeling sort of actually I've done quite a good stint now, and it's as time's gone on, it's got easier and easier. And as I've
Yeah.
started to make sure I'm using all the tools and using all the strategies and everything else, it's just become much easier. So although initially I thought, oh, this is great, I'm just going to stop, it doesn't quite work like that, I found. So it's been a bit of a journey. I've learned a lot along the way, but that's where I am at the moment.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So would you say like you've had quite a lot of alcohol-free time since August then?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. So it's that definitely sort of progress, not perfection type stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And sort of
Brilliant.
it's increased each time, it's been a bit longer and a bit longer. And so this is feeling really good now.
Yeah, brilliant. So why did you want to make changes to your drinking?
I've had quite a lot of long periods of sobriety in the past. I think the longest was 8 years. Um, but then it just sort of trickled back in, and it just sort of started to have an impact I didn't really like. I didn't really like the way it was affecting me, and
Mm.
I didn't like the person I was. So I thought, okay, I know I can do this. I just want to sort of get back there. And there was never any major incidents or catastrophes or anything like that, but it just wasn't sitting right. And I thought, "Do you know what, I don't like this anymore." And it might be that it would be a sort of a couple of weeks spiral, and it would be really bad, and then I'd stop, and then I'd be okay for a bit, and then it would be, oh, something's happened, and you go into that again. So it was a bit like a cycle. And so I
Mm.
thought, all right, I need to break that. And it was sort of, I was just looking for ways, what can I do, where can I find information and everything else. And came across the group, and I've just thrown myself into everything. I think.
Yes, you totally have, like 100% of you. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's what I've done, and I've sort of soaked up all the information I can. And if there's been 7 day challenges, I've taken those on. I've done a coaching day, I've done a retreat. I've just sort of thrown myself into everything. So the more, for me, the more information I've got, the better. So that's how it works for me. And just gradually, it's become easier and easier and easier. And I'm still doing all those things. I mean, you were talking about the next 7 day challenge, and I'm like, I'm in there, I'm signed up, that's it, because I just need to
Brilliant.
keep that going, make sure I keep that going.
Yeah, and I talk about repetition a lot, sort of across the
Mm,
board in all my work, and it's a winner. And it's not just
mm.
about in this space; it's like even in the things that I'm learning about digital marketing and how to run a business. That's all still repetition. So
Yeah,
it's how we learn. It's the repetition stuff.
yeah.
I can hear your dog barking. So it's just like that's nice. It's your dog and not my dog. Because
Yeah,
normally it's my dog barking.
that's the little one. Something's obviously wound him up.
Oh, brilliant. That's great. Okay, so how did you do it, Pat? What did you do? How did you do it?
um, I did a lot of reading. Reading. I downloaded lots of audio books, and I find that really works for me because I can just plug in and just listen. Even like if I'm washing up or doing anything in around the house, I can just listen. I don't actually have to be physically sat down and consciously making an effort to do it. I can just I repeat them as well. I go back to them and listen again and again and again. So I did a lot of that. I did a lot of I don't know, just sort of finding information out as well, and using your videos. I don't know that I've even watched all of them, but I find the ones that resonate with me. And I know, I think I
It's all
have.
right.
I think
No,
I might
it
have done. But
doesn't matter.
I go back to the ones that really resonate with me and seem to really suit me. And I go back to those and I watch them again. And I'm a great, I like visual things as well. So, you know, when we've done stuff in the group or on things on the 7-day challenges or just tasks that you sort of set when you're doing your videos, I actually try and make a conscious effort to do. And I think the more of that I was doing in the early days, the more it started to sink in. I'm not going to say it was always easy because it isn't always easy. You get stuff thrown at you, things happen, and you automatically you go to like default mode. You just go to, well, that's what I normally do, so that's what I need to do. But gradually over time, I don't need to do that anymore, and I can just say, okay, I know I can handle this. I'll go and do something different, And I think probably one of the biggest things as well is just making sure I make time for me and things that I want to do. Whether that's, sit in front of the telly and watch something drossy, or or doing something with my girls, or having a nice bath, all of those things. Actually, things that probably I never really bothered to do before, and just that switch off time. Times that I can just switch off and do something that suits me. And sometimes, if I'm laying in the bath, then I'll stick one of the Audible books on and I'll listen to that, And it's like you say, it's that repetition. The more I listen to it, the more I read it, the more I do it, it just sinks in. And it's not like a light bulb moment. It isn't, oh, okay, that's fine, now it's done. It's not like that. It is you do have up days, you do have down days, but when you have a down day, that's the time that it's really important to go back to things and look at them again. And that's what I've found is working. Well, it still is working for me.
Yeah, and the one thing I know about you, because I've known you for a while now, is you properly work it. You're somebody that I can say, hand on heart, you 100% have thrown yourself into it. You want to get the result. You really want to do this. You really want your life, to improve and to feel better. So you're like leaving no stone unturned.
No.
You're like, this is it. I'm going to do it. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do all the other stuff as well that you're not telling me to do.
Yeah. And I think there are times where I go sort of quiet and I don't necessarily get involved as much for a week or so. But that's because I'm just getting on with it. And I haven't needed to. I haven't needed to reach out for support. And sometimes I keep on in touch with everything that's going on. But there are times where I sort of go quiet and I think, oh, I haven't done anything for a little while, or I haven't joined in anything for a little while. And it's never a very long period, but that's just because whatever it is I'm doing, is working. So I just carry on doing it. I think that's the thing, is just finding what works and just sticking with it and doing the work, because I think that makes such a difference.
Yeah, and I love it when people message me and they're like, oh, sorry, I haven't been in touch, but it's just not an issue for me anymore. And I've just been getting on with my life. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly
right. Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. I don't want people to need me, you know. It's that I want people to come in, get what they need, move on. That's the whole point. You shouldn't. I know that's controversial, but I know some people sort of stay in because they want to give back, and that's great, and that there's a place for that, and that also works in terms of maintenance. But you don't have to do that either. And actually, I love it when people move on and it just becomes about normal life. You don't even have to think about it anymore.
No, that's right. And I've said that a few times, you know, sort of, oh, well, when you've sort of said to me, well, what's worked for you this week? I'm like, oh, I don't really know. I've just been doing it, you know, and I can't really pinpoint anything because it's just become the norm. And, you know, I'm not under any illusions. I'm not, you know, I know that sometimes something will come and hit me in the face and I will find it difficult. But I think over the past few months, I've built up all those things that I know I can turn to if I need to. I don't need them all the time, but some of them have become habit. Some of them have become things that I do daily, or things that I might think, oh, I'll do that. And, you know, or things that I do at a weekend particularly. You know, I definitely do my list. I love a list, but I do it in a certain way so that I know that there's stuff on there I've got to do, but I've also put stuff on there that I want to do. And as long as I get the balance between the two, I'm happy. I don't have to do all of it. I don't put myself under pressure. It's just, well, I've done 4 from there, so now I'm going to do 2 from that one. That's my want to do. And that's what I'm working towards all the time, is getting to the point where, okay, what can I do for myself now? You know, so, yeah, it's not always, I can't always pinpoint whatever it is that's working, but if it's working, it's working.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, 100%. And I can tell by your language, like you say. So Pat's in the accountability group, and in the accountability group, basically people get access to the online coaching program, but we also do a weekly live group, which is great. And you don't have to attend every group, but it's nice if you show up to some of them, because I really get to know people and what's going on. And you can hear when people have moved into that next phase, because like they come into the group and they're like you, I don't really know, I'm just getting on with it and it's all good. And I'm like, yes, you'll be moving on soon. It's like you can hear it. It's like you're in that maintenance phase, which is great, and it's just building your confidence and just normal life, which is fab. So how would you describe the accountability group? Because I'm always interested how people think how they would describe it.
I really, really like it. I found that although there's a group of people and not everyone's there all the time, there are times when, you know, the same people pop in and you think, oh, I haven't seen them for a few weeks, how are they doing? And I find that it's all of those people in the group really want to support each other. And you know, there are times when we'll be having a live group, and someone will ask a question and you think, oh yeah, that's something actually that I could have asked, even though you didn't think of it yourself. You think, oh yeah, that's a relevant question, and someone will have an answer and you think, oh, I'm going to try that. So it's not just you're picking up on other people's experiences and what works for them as well. And I think that's been one of the real major factors for me, is keeping the connection. Is that, and I say that a lot with, you know, when you do ask what's working, and I say, well, yeah, it's the connection. It's making sure I maintain that connection. And there's ladies in there from all over the place, and it's so interesting. You know, you hear other people's journeys, but you hear what's working for them, and it's all of that stuff that I find really, really helpful. It's just having that connection. And a lot of the time, we might spend a lot of time talking and you don't say a lot, but that's because actually we're all helping each other without really even knowing it.
Yeah, definitely. It's I'm there to sort of guide and facilitate and listen, and because then once I can hear people's process, then throughout the week in the group it makes it easier for me to support them, so I can hear it. And it's not always, sometimes I might do a live teach, but mostly it's about you guys sharing, isn't it? Because like you say, it's just interesting how different everybody is, isn't it? The different things work for different people, different motivations. But and then you can sort of think, oh yeah, I'll try that, or maybe that'll work for me, or that resonates. So
and sometimes we come, you know, when we're talking, we do come across, there's a common theme there, And that's when, you know, you chip in and say, okay, well, we found a common theme here. What should we do? What can we do about it? And then everybody's got their own ideas as to what works and what doesn't work for them. But sometimes you'll put something out there that nobody's thought of, and so we'll all go away and try it, and it might work, it, you know, for some, and it may not for others. But yeah, I mean, I really, really like the group. And although, you know, perhaps I am at the point now where, you know, I don't necessarily know what's worked for me that week or whatever. I find that having that connection and knowing how everyone's doing, even when, you know, people do need support because it hasn't been easy and they haven't had a good week or whatever, that's where we're all there cheering each other on.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Particularly when you know something's really big for someone and like they've conquered something really big or they got something going on. You're like, yay, you did it. That's brilliant. I think I'll never forget, on one group, we actually got a woman to pour wine down the sink, didn't we? That was one of my favourites.
We did. Honestly, that was brilliant though. That was so good. And she did it. And, you know, it was afterwards, so how did you feel doing that? And she said, wow, I felt that felt so good.
Yes,
we were all there cheering her on.
So if you want to join the accountability group, we can get you to pour your alcohol down the sink. If that's what you want, then we can do that. So
it is about honesty though. She was honest enough to say, look, I've got this. And so we said, okay, well, what do you need to do with that? So, you know, it wasn't forcing anyone to go rummaging through their cupboards. It was about, you know, she was honest enough to say, look, this is where I am. So we said, okay, we know what you need to do with that.
Yeah. Although getting people to rummage through their cupboards might be a good
one.
Okay, so we'll have some new ladies in the group, or ladies that are just sort of starting. If you could share one tip, what would it be?
Do the work. I think that's my biggest tip. Biggest thing is it's you can lurk and you can read and you can watch the videos, but unless you actually act on it, nothing's going to really change. You need to actually put the work in yourself. At the end of the day, you're the one that's going to benefit from it, and it's worth it for you. So that's probably the biggest thing, is you need to do the work.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you decide to do.
No.
You could go to Slimming World and do the work. You could join a gym and do the work. You could sign up to be a yoga teacher and do the work. You can go and do a 12-step program and do the work. You can join my accountability group and do the work. Do my online coaching program and do the work. There's like 1,000,001 ways you can do the work. The other thing is, it's great to take information in and listen and like consume and fill your world with it. But ultimately, you've got to take action.
Yes.
So, it's like, there's a really good saying. I love that. Yeah, talk doesn't cook rice. That's one of my favourite ones.
I heard that.
Yeah. There's another one, isn't there? Something about press-ups. I'll find it and post in the group. It's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pat. Thanks for coming on and sharing. It's been such a pleasure working with you, and I will see you at the weekend.
We will, yes.
I'm sure if you've got any questions for Pat, Pat, she'll be in the group at some point, so
Definitely.
You can post them under this video. And thank you, and see you soon, ladies. Bye.
Take care. See you later. Bye.